when I'm doing TV and I got 18, God damn it, can't everybody stop for 10 minutes? I mean, everybody seems that's the only, everybody can we stick, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's not that much to ask. Is that when everybody has to move when I'm trying to concentrate?
Hey, somebody has run out on the field. Some goofball in a hat and a red shirt. Now he takes off the shirt. He's running down the middle by the 50. He's at the 30. He's bare-chested and banging his chest. Now he runs the opposite way. He runs at the 50. He runs at the 40. The guy is drunk, but there he goes. The 20. They're chasing him. They're not going to get him. Waving his arms, bare-chested. Somebody stop
Look
that
out,
man.
here comes the blue coat,
Oh,
Kevin.
they got him.
Here
They're
comes
coming
the blue
from the
coats.
left. Oh, and they tackle him at the 40-yard line.
I'm sorry to explode like that, but it's like no one's ever worked on TV here before.
That was the most exciting thing to happen tonight.
اهلا بيكم في برنامج ENFLP الإيجيبشن NFL podcast. انا اسمي مازي.
وانا اسمي عبدو.
Welcome back, man. Week 9. I don't know why I'm saying welcome back. It's not like you were gone anywhere. I'm guessing I'm saying welcome back for the show, you know.
Welcome back for the show. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I'm welcome back for the show. It's been a week away. Week 9 was a pretty intense week. We had 6 division games being played out this week. Intense battles.
Intense.
And very intense, close battles. Some games weren't as intense as they looked because teams would blow out other teams really quickly and teams would try to come back. But week 9 was a very eventful week. We're starting to get to the point of the season now where teams are rolling into the playoffs. The teams that are going to be winning these coming weeks are the teams that are going to be in contention for the playoffs. And the teams that are going to be losing this week, you should be a bit worried because this is the time of the year where you really have to win games if you want momentum for the playoffs. Midway through the season, teams are worn out. Who's going to last and who isn't? What's going on, man? Earlier in the season we predicted the Cardinals to win the Super Bowl. I don't think we're there anymore.
No.
طب ايه يا عبدو تفتكر مين هيكسب السنة دي يعني؟
مش عارف ال NFL unpredictable خالص. يعني عمر ما تقدر تتوقع ايه اللي هيحصل. فانا مش عارف. انا كنت شايف الكاردينالز في الاول. they're pretty solid team بس الفالكنز شكلهم contenders عامه. ما تقدرش تقول الفالكنز مش contenders.
لا طبعا
ما بحبهمش.
هم contenders اكيد يعني. بس
هم contenders.
بس انا حاسس لسه يعني في الاخر السيزون هيبقى عندهم ماتشات صعبه شويه فممكن يخسروا. دلوقتي شكلهم contenders بس مش حاسس ان هم هيقدروا keep it up for the whole season يعني.
Patriots على طول contenders.
Patriots. انا بالنسبه لي Patriots هم الجودز بتاع ال NFL يعني. احسن فريق في الليج دلوقتي. ما فيهمش ويكنس. ما فيهمش ويكنس خالص. ما فيش ويكنس في الباتريوتس خالص. انا حاسس بس في فرق يعني 2 or 3 teams in the NFL ممكن يكسبوا الباتريوتس بس يعني معظم الفرق في ال NFL مش هيقدروا يعملوا اي حاجه.
هم الكاوبويز لعبوا باتريوتس؟
لا ما لعبوش الباتريوتس.
ده يبقى ماتش اب انترستينج. يعني الكاوبويز السنه دي هم ايه 7-1
خسروا اول ماتش بعد كده كسبوا كل حاجه.
يعني اول ماتش ضد الجاينتس خسروه بعدين خلاص انطلقوا يعني
بالظبط
ما بيهرجوش يعني. فكاوبويز يعني خلاص اعتقد هم خلاص دخلوا بلاي اوفز مور اور ليس
يعني unless they lose every game يعني from now
غير بقى لو اتقلبوا تماما يعني.
لا مش هتحصل.
فالكاوبويز رايحين بلاي اوفز they're contender. ما تقدرش يعني عندهم 2 روكيز شارخين. اعتقد هم الباتريوتس فالكنز والكاوبويز
هم دول 3 فرق بالنسبه لك يعني.
مين تاني؟
انا بالنسبه لي انا هحط السي هوكس. لازم احط السي هوكس يعني. الاسبوع اللي جاي السي هوكس هيلعبوا ضد الباتريوتس وده هيبقى ماتش كبير جدا عشان هم ما لعبوش من الماتش اللي هم لعبوه في السوبر بول. بقالهم سنه ونص ما لعبوش ضد بعض فهيبقى ماتش كبير جدا وهنشوف الباتريوتس عاملين ازاي ضد فريق جامد جدا. فانا حاسس السي هوكس ممكن يعملوا حاجه فانا هحط السي هوكس في الكونفرسيشن. انا لسه حاسس الفايكنجز موجودين يعني on their defense. الاوفنس بتاعهم يعني مش بيلعب خالص.
انا دي بس راسي اللي هو فايكنجز ماشي في الاول فايك وشرخوا وبتاع وكانوا جامدين والديفنس كان شايل الفرقه بس ماشي. الديفنس هو اللي بيكسب لك السوبر بول بس لازم يبقى عندك اوفنس
يساعد. لازم يبقى في اوفنس بيساعد وبيسكور بوينتس
عشان الديفنس ما يتعبش.
بالظبط وده اللي حصل الاسبوع ده. هنتكلم هنا على الفايكنجز واللاينز كمان شويه بس ده اللي حصل لهم بالظبط. فانا يعني لو الاوفنسيف لاين بتاعهم اتحسن ممكن نلاقيهم بيلعبوا كويس في البلاي اوف.
مين؟
الفايكنجز الاوفنسيف لاين بتاعهم دلوقتي مش بيلعب خالص. وسام
اوفنسيف لاين ما بيلعبش. سام برادفورد رجع. سام برادفورد اللي احنا عارفينه هو ما اتغيرش قوي بس كان بدأ.
انا البرونكوز فريق تاني في الاي اف سي انا شايف ممكن يعمل حاجه. الريدرز فريق في الاي اف سي ممكن يعمل
ريدرز انا فريق نسقطه ده فريق ممكن مفاجاه انه يكسب.
بس الريدرز ضد الباتريوتس صعب. انا شايف الريدرز يكسبوا الماتش ده. لسه مش حاسس
هم هيلعبوهم
لا مش هيلعبوهم. لا مش هيلعبوهم. فممكن نشوف في البلاي اوفز هيحصل ايه معاهم. التشيفز برضو مش حاسس فيهم قوي يعني. هم ممكن يكسبوا في البلاي اوفز ضد الباتريوتس لسه.
بس التشيفز فريق on the down low كده يعني جامد بس محدش واخد باله منه.
ممكن يعمل حاجه يعني عاوز
يعني يفاجئك. فريق under valued فشخ.
ايوه. and Steelers يعني بص بن روثلسبرج he's been injured فممكن towards the end of the season they can pick up steam.
They're not impressing me this season
خالص. هو المشكله في الرننج جيم بتاعهم مفيش رننج جيم دلوقتي فدي مشكله
كبيره.
كبيره.
مع انهم عندهم يعني رننج باكس دانجلو ويليامز وليفون بيل.
they need to improve.
جامدين يعني.
they need to improve دلوقتي. we'll find out. هنشوف اللي هيحصل.
هم انا شايفهم لازم يديفايد الورك لود على الاثنين دول.
لازم.
يعني هو اول ما ليفون بيل رجع ما بيديفايدوش الورك لود خالص. فخلاص يعني انت لازم تو ميكس ات اب. وبالذات ان انجلو ويليام قبل ما ليفون بيل يرجع كان عامل شغل كويس جدا.
بالظبط. let's get started على طول في اول ماتش في ويك 9. الاتلانتا فالكنز لعبوا ضد التامبا باي باكنيرز Thursday night game. الاتلانتا فالكنز كسبوا 43-28. الماتش يعني كان شكله كلوز بس الماتش ما كانش كلوز خالص يعني.
garbage time
touchdowns. The thing is Atlanta Falcons destroyed them. They destroyed them في الماتش ده. And Matt Ryan flawless game. Julio Jones
Matt
flawless
Ryan
game.
احسن quarterback السنه دي
دلوقتي right now he's the best quarterback.
So now he's the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
Surprisingly ولا مش surprisingly?
Look, not surprisingly الاوفنس هم بيلعبوا play action offense. Okay. They run the ball. Play action offense معناه you're getting the defense used to running the ball. You're making them think we're gonna run the ball. So when the defense you step forward and leave space behind them, Matt Ryan fakes the run and he finds a wide receiver wide open deep down the field.
فعلى طول بيلعبوا برانينج باك حتى لو مش هيستخدموه.
بالظبط. They make you focus on the running game and then they throw it over your head.
بالذات ان عندهم اتنين رانينج باكس ما لهمش حل فيمن وكومن.
بالظبط.
يعني
هو Coleman's been injured a couple of weeks now. But Julio Jones is unstoppable right now in the play action offense. Matt Ryan's unstoppable now in the play action offense.
Top 3 wide receivers. Julio Jones, AJ Green,
Antonio Brown.
Top 3.
Yeah, definitely. Jameis Winston took a hit this game that was kind of disastrous. He had to go out of the game. It looked really weird. He was trying to go in the end zone. He went head first in the end zone, and the defender just clocked him right in the head, and his knee got stuck on the grass. And it was awful. It was an awful hit to look at. It was also really funny because what are you doing? Why aren't you protecting yourself? He kind of deserves the hit that he took there. But the Buccaneers are now 3-5. I don't know about the Buccaneers. The Atlanta Falcons are 6-3. The only competition the Falcons have in their division are the Saints, and we'll get to the Saints in a little bit because I have a few interesting feelings about what the Saints are doing this year.
بس انت بتتكلم عن Buccaneers فريق that drafted the first round pick بتاعه kicker.
Second round pick.
Yeah,
they took a kicker in the second round of the draft, yani. Which kind of shows where they are now. It shows where they are as a team, that they're still rebuilding. They're still trying to formulate teams together. They have holes, you know.
kicker لغايه دلوقتي بيلعب season زي الزفت.
And you know the Buccaneers haven't won a single game at home this year.
See?
They haven't won a game at home.
That's tough for the fans, man.
Yeah, that's really hard. Yeah. You know who owns the Buccaneers?
Who?
The same people who own Manchester United.
Really?
Doesn't that make sense now?
Like they're just throwing money.
Throwing money and nothing's happening.
The Glazier family?
The Glazer family.
Glazer.
Let's move on to the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Baltimore Ravens. A division game. Ravens كسبوا الماتش ده 21-14. أنا Ben Roethlisberger, he came back this game and he played.
But he wasn't doing anything.
He looked injured. Okay, he looked like he wasn't himself. The Baltimore Ravens didn't let the Steelers score a single touchdown for أول 3 quarters في الماتش. The Pittsburgh Steelers had 0 points for the first 3 quarters of the game.
يعني they were so close to being shut down.
Yeah. And then finally Ben Roethlisberger in the 4th quarter starts playing well. He threw 45 times and only completed 23 passes. Not an efficient game for the Pittsburgh Steelers offense at all. Le'Veon Bell, 32 yards only. Just inefficient offense for the Pittsburgh
32
Steelers.
yards بس. لما كنت تنزل انت تلعب.
Mike Wallace had one of the plays of the week. He caught a slant pass.
Wallace.
Yeah, and he ran the ball for like 95 yards. 95-yard catch. Speed. He looked like Brandon Cooks on that play. The Baltimore Ravens deserved that game. بس إيه اللي حصل في آخر الماتش؟ الonside kick بتاع Steelers.
Rabona kick.
Rabona kick. What are the Steelers doing trying a
أنا مش
Rabona
فاهم
kick?
هو ليه عمل كده؟ ملهاش لازمة؟
ملهاش لازمة خالص.
خالص. وانت خسران.
Yeah, don't try this shit.
انت عبيط.
It didn't work at all. It didn't even pass 1 yard. It was just embarrassing. It was completely embarrassing.
يعني ضيع 1 point على الفاضي.
But it must have worked in practice for them to do something like that and during the game.
Even if it worked in practice, that's not something you do when you're losing.
Yeah, at all.
خالص.
At all.
If I'm a fan, هكسر التلفزيون.
Yeah, I'd be so annoyed. But so now both teams are 4-4. They're in the top, both of them are on top of their division. Still a close game between the Ravens and Steelers. We'll see what happens with them. Now let's move on to the next game. The Dallas Cowboys at the Cleveland Browns. الكاوبويز يعني اكيد كان هيكسبوا الماتش ده.
بص مش حاجه اكيده في NFL
ماشي بس الناس كانوا بيقولوا يعني ممكن يبقى تراب جيم للكاوبويز. الكاوبويز هيخشوا too confident والبراونز هيكسبوا. لا الكاوبويز destroyed them. الكاوبويز كسبوا 35-10 والكاوبويز كانوا المفروض يكسبوا الماتش ده عشان هم لازم كانوا يوروا بجد هم ازاي فريق كويس جدا ضد فريق وحش قوي. والبراونز لسه مش كاسبين اي حاجه السنه دي. مش كسبين اي حاجه وشكلهم مش هيكسبوا خالص.
ده 9-0 دلوقتي.
Yeah, it's crazy يعني. Dak Prescott flawless game. Ezekiel Elliott flawless game. Jason Witten flawless game. مش عارف I don't know what to say about the Browns right now.
ما في حاجه تقال على الجيم ده غير ان هو الكاوبويز كسبوا بكل سهوله. كسبوا.
Yeah.
Prescott جامد.
A good team beat a bad team. Very simple. Very simple. Let's move on to the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs كسبوا الماتش ده 19-14. The Chiefs are now 6-2. والجاguars كسبوا 2 وخسروا 6.
الجيم ده كان فيه تيرن اوفرز كتير.
وكان ماتش يعني
الجاguars ما عملوش اي حاجه في اول هاف.
Yeah, very little. بس both teams عامه ما عملوش اي حاجه. انا كنت فاكر نيك فولز دخل الماتش ده يلعب بدال أليكس سميث عشان أليكس سميث كان injured. كنت فاكر نيك فولز هيلعب ماتش كويس جدا. ما لعبش ماتش كويس خالص.
انت حتى جبته كنت
جبته في الفانتسي هو بص هو جاب 1 touchdown didn't throw an interception بس الcompletion percentage بتاعه ما كانش حلو قوي. ما كانش عندهم سبنسر وير فالاوفنس بتاعهم was very underachieving. والجاguars they're the Jaguars. But you know who's back for the Jaguars?
Who?
Chris Ivory.
You picked him up, huh?
I picked him up for this week.
I was gonna pick him up, but I think يعني the workload is gonna be divided between Yeldon and Ivory so much that he's not gonna rack you any points.
The thing about it is Chris Ivory, the workload is split up شوية, but Chris Ivory is getting the majority of the work. And Chris Ivory is a monster. He's a monster. When he's healthy بقى. He was injured for the first half of the season. Now he's healthy and he's a monster. He runs like Marshawn Lynch. He runs like Adrian Peterson. He's a very underrated running back. I love Chris Ivory. I think he is a top 10 running back in this league.
I was excited about Chris Ivory going to the Jaguars. The Jaguars are having an awful season.
But look, I have hope. And I don't think they're going to win a lot of games, but he's going to be a monster in fantasy. He's going to be an absolute monster in fantasy for them. Very exciting things. The Chiefs Gizbu very simply because they controlled the game. And they controlled the game. They ran the ball when they needed to. They threw the ball when they needed to. They converted. Their defense held up, and they didn't let the Jaguars do anything efficient for them to win the game. Chiefs are a solid team. Solid team for the Chiefs.
I love the Chiefs.
The New York Jets at the Miami Dolphins. الدولفينز كسبوا الماتش ده 27 والجيتس كانوا 23. Both teams kind of suck right now. You know what I mean? This game is like an irrelevant game. The Dolphins are now
irrelevant جدا. يعني أنا مش مهتم. Dolphins كسبوا أخيرا.
And the Dolphins are now 4-4. Okay, they're 4-4. Jay Ajayi has helped them so much the past 3 games. They're on a 3-game winning streak because of Jay Ajayi. But that's not going to keep happening. You know, they have a harder schedule going into the rest of the season.
harder كمان.
Well, Bills are there. يعني the Patriots هيكسبوا الديفيجن ده. بين البيلز والباتريوتس والدولفينز والجيتس الباتريوتس هيكسبوا الديفيجن ده. And the Bills should be second. Actually, the Bills are an amazing team right now. So they should be second.
I really like the Bills.
But the Dolphins are going to try hard like they did in this game, but they're not going to they're going to find a very hard time going into the playoffs. Very, very hard time. What is there to say about this game? Fitzpatrick took a hard shot. Took a really, really hard shot. He couldn't even continue. He had to stay on the ground. I feel bad for him. But so you know what? The Jets need a quarterback. Like, I love Fitzpatrick.
Why do you love Fitzpatrick?
I love him because I like who he is as a human being. He had a great year last year. He had a really good year with the Jets last year. Things are just not going their way. He's unlucky.
Why do you like him as a human being? You don't know him.
I do know him.
How?
He's a Harvard graduate. I had to be Harvard. I like him. Isn't that what's supposed to happen?
No.
Society.
No.
You know.
No, that
You go to Harvard. I like you. You're smart.
مش فاهمك. بني آدم غريب.
بس لا Jay Ajayi, man. Jay Ajayi is a monster right now.
طب اللي بيتخرج من AUC طيب.
We don't have to talk about that. Let's move on to the Philadelphia Eagles at the New York Giants. Another division game. الجاينتس كسبوا الماتش ده 28-23. 4 interceptions this game. Okay, لسه كنا بنتكلم عن turnovers. 4 interceptions this game. كان في 2 fumbles but not turned over. Division games, man. Division games are really hard. Battles. They're battles. 2 teams know each other really well. Very close games. It takes one mistake at the wrong time for you to lose the game. And Carson Wentz.
Yeah, I was just gonna like he's is he having a hangover here?
بص هو he threw كان عنده 364 yards throwing the ball.
بس كام interception؟
2 interceptions, no touchdowns. No touchdowns خالص. He got hit a lot this game. He got hit a lot. He got hit 9 times in this game.
Are you gonna drop him?
No, لا I'm not. بص he's on my fantasy team دلوقتي. هو عنده 364 yards. That's a lot. هو 2 interceptions knocked him down شوية. He needs to score touchdowns. He needs to score touchdowns. Right now the only touchdowns the Eagles are scoring.
Who's the star receiver for Eagles?
Jordan Matthews. وتعرف هم كانوا عايزين ياخدوا Alshon Jeffrey من البيرز. They were trying to trade for him.
Yeah.
At the trade deadline it didn't work out. They're probably going to draft a receiver next year. They're going to have to draft a receiver really high. I might pick up one from free agency. They need help in the receiver position.
صح?
Yeah, they really do. They really need help in the receiver position.
And they need a running back كمان.
Darren Sproles?
But Sproles is what, 32?
Yeah, Bush Sproles is a 3rd down back. Yani he's a trick. You use him when you need him, but he's not every down back. But you're right, they do need a running back for sure. Now
Benny Matthews, he's not that good.
Ryan Matthews, he only ran the ball 5 times. He fumbled the ball a few weeks ago, which led to them losing a lot of games. That was the beginning of the losing streak that they're going on now. And I feel like they're punishing him شوية. They're giving him less carries.
And Sproles is
dependable.
Yeah, dependable.
Very dependable. The Giants are now 5-3. Well, Eagles are now 4-4. The Cowboys are winning this division. The Cowboys are first in this division. The Giants are now 5-3. They're second in this division, and the Eagles are now 3rd in this division. After starting the season 3-0, the Eagles are now on an uphill battle. فهنشوف اللي هيحصل في الديفيجن ده. أنا حاسس الديفيجن ده it's gonna stay like this. Cowboys, Giants, Eagles.
Yeah.
Well, Washington team في الآخر.
Seems fair.
Seems pretty fair, صح? Seems pretty fair. Let's move on to the Detroit Lions at the Minnesota Vikings.
أخيرا ستراتفورد كسب.
الراجل
ده يستحق جايزة.
It's amazing ending for this game for Matthew Stafford. It shows how amazing of a quarterback this guy is. He should be in the conversation of MVP, but obviously he won't win the MVP. عشان the record with the Lions is now 5-4. But they're not going to be an amazing team for him to win an MVP award. But the Lions كسبوا 22-16 for overtime.
And against the Vikings.
Against the Vikings defense. Matthew Stafford كان معاه كورة 30 seconds left. 30 seconds left كانوا محتاجين field goal عشان يروحوا overtime. In 30 seconds he gets 60 yards. Imagine that. In 30 seconds he gets 60 yards because he's a leader. He knows exactly what he needs to do. The Vikings left the middle of the field open. He threw the ball in the middle of the field. They spiked the ball. Scored a 58-yard field goal. Went to
عارف
overtime.
Vikings المفروض يعملوا ايه؟
إيه؟
Trade away Bridgewater.
ما هو خلاص trade deadline خلص بقى.
لا السنة الجاية.
السنة الجاية.
أنا بتكلم بفكر مستقبل. Trade away Bridgewater. Trade away Bradford. لو حد عايز ياخده يعني. يعني أو خليه adjust his schedule, adjust his contract and then leave him as a backup and get Stratford. Like do anything they can to get Stratford.
بص statistically Sam Bradford had a pretty good game. رمي الكرة 40 مرة and completed 31 times. 273 yards throwing and 1 touchdown. بس معناه اللي هو بيرمي small throws. The offense is not efficient enough to get you first downs. They're not getting first downs. They're not الكرة مش بتروح على الملعب. They're not getting in the red zone.
مصطفى ما تكلمنيش عن سام برادفورد تحاول تبرر ان سام برادفورد ديفندبل وان فريقي ممكن يكسب اي خرا بسام برادفورد. يعني ما تحاولش
I'm not going to. I'm just saying
ده سام برادفورد الاسبوع اللي فات لعب حلو. انا مش مهتم. ان شاء الله يجيب 10 تاتش.
بص Adrian Peterson ممكن يرجع في December. Okay, he probably will come back in December. When Adrian Peterson comes back in December, we'll see how the Vikings are. But I guarantee you, when he comes back in December, I have a feeling that they're gonna start rolling again because they don't have a running game right now. They don't have a running game.
أنا مع كمان لو تخيل ستراتفورد مع إدريان بيترسون.
حاجة كويسة ولا حاجة وحشة؟
لا يعني بقول لك تخيل.
ما أنا بخيل.
تخيل ستراتفورد بيرمي الكورة ومع إدريان بيترسون to run the ball.
It's amazing.
والفايكنجز defense.
It's amazing.
يعني they should do anything they can to get to this.
It's a division. They're in the division. I can't see the Matthew Stafford playing for another division team yet. Very, very rough. I can very, very hard to see someone as if someone's going from Arsenal to Tottenham. Very, very, very difficult right now.
Especially the leader of the Lions.
Yeah, especially the leader of the Lions. Golden Tate, the receiver بتاع Lions اللي كان مع Seahawks 3 years ago. He caught the ball in overtime. Broke two tackles, stayed in bounds, and flipped into the end zone.
Yeah, I saw that. That was flashy.
Flashy play to win the game against the Vikings. Good for the Lions, man. Good for the Lions. The Minnesota Vikings are now 5-3. They're still first in the division.
Yeah.
The Lions are 5-4. Okay, they're second with the Packers, who are now 4-4. Okay, but anyone can win this division.
بس لما نيجي للباكرز.
But anyone can win this division right now. The Lions, Vikings, or Packers, anyone can win this division right now. Right now, it's too open. It's too open.
متأكد بيترسون هيرجع؟
Yeah, they said in December he should come back. He should be ready to come back in December. But that's something to look forward to for the Vikings. And when you win games in December, you're going to be dangerous in the playoffs. The Carolina Panthers at the Los Angeles Rams. The Panthers كسبوا الماتش ده 13-10. The Panthers now are 3-5 for Rams. دلوقتي 3-5 also. What a field goal filled game. 1 touchdown each. Cam Newton had a touchdown. Case Keenum had a touchdown. Todd Gurley obviously not running the ball well.
هو لو الاثنين QBs بتوع فرق جابوا touchdowns, they like run it ولا they threw a touchdown?
They threw a touchdown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, Todd Gurley, listen, nothing's happening at Todd Gurley.
ما تدوني.
I don't mind. We'll get a trade. We'll figure a trade out.
أديك فيكارو.
لا, I need more than that. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. Cam Newton had a pretty good game. The running game for both teams were equal, 59 yards for both teams.
هو Panthers دلوقتي 3-5.
3-5 for Rams. دلوقتي 3-5. Rams tried to do an onside kick in the end of the game. Weird onside kick. Exactly the same thing as the Steelers. They did this flashy onside kick where they pretended as if they weren't going to kick the ball, and then they quickly kicked it, and they kicked it like 30 yards away from their team. No way of them getting the ball back.
They have an idiot head coach.
Weird play calling. Very, very weird things happening. Both defenses played an excellent game. This was a very defensive game. The Rams hit Cam Newton 11 times, and the Panthers hit Case Keenum 11 times. Very equal game on both defensive sides. Jared Goff.
Damn.
he needs to play. He needs to play. صح ولا لا؟ Case Keenum خلاص. Time's up. Time's up. He's not winning games. Start the rookie. You're 3-5.
هتخسر ايه يعني اكتر من اللي انت خسرته؟
Oh, and you're gonna be 7-9 this way anyway. You might as well start your rookie. Let him get it.
First overall pick.
Let him get experience. Let him get experience now for the rest of the season. And next year,
If I'm the owner of the Rams, I'll fire that head coach.
and
I'll fire him straight away.
and be like, play golf now. No matter what happens, play him. Let him get experience. Okay? If he does bad, he does bad. Doesn't matter. Let him get experience.
عشان
And then
اقدر احكم عليه.
exactly. And then next year, we'll contend next year.
اصلا ما اعتقدش تقدر تحكم على QB in practice. يبقى هو الايه؟
Exactly.
first overall على اساس ايه؟
بالظبط.
على اساس يعني I would fire my whole scouting staff if he comes and practice is not that good.
And the first pick of the draft. The first pick of the draft.
And you don't start
That's
him.
crazy.
What the hell, man?
Oh. The New Orleans Saints at the San Francisco 49ers. The Saints كسبوا الماتش ده 41-23. الساينتس دلوقتي 4-4 وال49ers 1-7. 49ers are like the Cleveland Browns. They're like the
they
Cleveland
won
Browns.
a game.
They won a game, so yeah, fee separation شوية. Colin Kaepernick had an amazing game. Colin Kaepernick had an amazing first half. He had an amazing first half. The second half of the game for the 49ers offense did nothing. Okay? No, sorry. Colin Kaepernick didn't have an amazing first half. He had an amazing second quarter. He had an amazing second quarter. There was one quarter in this game where you were looking at the 49ers and you were like, wow, Colin Kaepernick is back. Colin Kaepernick can be their starting quarterback. And this is they look really good. But it was only for one quarter. But they need to find consistency. He had 398 yards throwing the ball. وجري 23 ياردة. 2 touchdowns. He had an interception, which cost them dearly. The Saints كانوا في أول السيزون.
Kaepernick, let's like I'm sorry.
Okay. لا مش مشكلة.
بس فكرة كابرنيك هيرجع وهل هو كويس وحواليه ريسيفرز وحشين وأوفنسيف لاين وحش؟
Yeah, الفريق حوالينه طبعا right now is not doing very well. The defense is awful. The worst defense in the league right now.
Oh wow.
Okay.
أوحش من براونز؟
أوحش من Browns, which is ridiculous.
والبراونز دلوقتي عندهم جيمي كولينز.
Yeah. And their offensive line is very poor كمان. They need to rebuild the core positions. When I say core positions, I mean their offensive line, their defensive line, and their secondary for defense. They need to
defense كله يعني.
Yeah, pretty much. Like it right now, it's just not looking good for the 49ers. But Colin Kaepernick, هو بعد السنة دي, he's a free agent. Okay? Is he going to stay with the 49ers or not? I don't know. He's starting to show them why he should be their quarterback. But if they let him go, I'm sure other teams will want him.
Who do you think should get him?
Oh man, the Jets are there. Okay. Who else is out there that needs a quarterback? The Bears, but I doubt it because the coaches of the Bears don't like the kind of quarterback that Colin Kaepernick is. I don't know who would want him right now. I can only think of the Jets right now. The Jets are the only team that I think would need a quarterback like Kaepernick right now. And New York and that kind of flashy quarterback play. It would make sense. Can we talk about the Saints now? Yeah. Mark Ingram last week fumbled the ball.
Yeah.
So Sean Payton put him on the bench. What happened this game?
Superstar
game. He broke out for a 75-yard touchdown. It was amazing. All right. He had 158 yards running the ball and 1 touchdown.
2 touchdowns.
One touchdown. One rushing touchdown and 1 receiving touchdown. All right, so he did have 2 touchdowns. Tim Hightower, the backup that can بيلعب الأسبوع اللي فات, he played as well.
Really good game.
He ran the ball more than Ingram. He ran the ball 23 times. Ingram ran the ball 15 times. Hightower had 87 yards and 1 touchdown. The offense of the Saints
is clicking.
And dangerous with the amount of players they have. Michael Thomas, rookie receiver, leading the team in leading the rookies in the NFL right now. 73 yards and 2 touchdowns this game. Brandon Cooks is there. He didn't have any touchdowns, but he had a great game.
He's always a menace.
The Saints, look, they're 4-4 now. ابتدوا season winless in the first 3 games. Okay?
Against the Raiders.
They lost against the Raiders, they lost against the Falcons, and they lost against the Giants. Would you say those 3 teams are good teams?
Yeah.
They lost against 3 very good teams in the beginning of the season, and now they're winning games.
And they lost against who then?
The Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
Which is another really good team. But they beat the Seahawks. Okay? Next week, they're going to play the Broncos. If they beat the Broncos next week,
you're going to lose it.
I'm going to lose my shit, dude. I'm sorry I'm cursing, but I'm going to lose it. Because if they beat the Broncos in the Superdome next week, then I'm going to tell you that the Falcons are going to lose it towards the end of the season, and the Saints are going to win this division. I know.
لازم تشوف وش مصطفى دلوقتي هو بيتكلم serious فشخ.
عشان في الأول season I was like, Sean Payne should get fired, and I'm done, and first 3 losses again, and I'm exhausted. But so the team's coming together, and I have to say sorry. I was wrong. The team's coming together, and I see the plan now. I see what they're doing, and the defense is clicking. Next week, it will all make sense. If we beat the Broncos next week, we're winning the division. عشان الفالكونز والساينتس هيلعبوا في آخر ماتش في السيزون. Week 17, the Falcons and the Saints are playing, and that game might be the decider on who wins the division. It's going to be very close. It's going to be very, very close.
مين هيلعب يوم Thanksgiving؟
ما نيجي بقى في يوم Thanksgiving نتكلم في Thanksgiving games. أكيد الكاوبويز هيلعبوا وأكيد البيرز هيلعبوا.
اشمعنى؟
Actually they always play every Thanksgiving. واللاينز هيلعبوا كمان. Those 3 teams always play in Thanksgiving. Who they're playing against? We'll talk about that in Thanksgiving week. Mostly because I don't remember. Tennessee Titans at the San Diego Chargers. The Chargers كسبوا الماتش ده على 43 ل 35 فرق تاتش داون واحد بس.
يعني انا عايز اركب الباند واجي بتاع التشارجرز.
Oh yeah? They're 4-5 now. But they're still having a losing streak. But they look like a really good team.
حتى اللي خسروه معظمه يعني
mistakes. But they're not doing those mistakes anymore. Now they're winning and finishing games. Okay? Let's see what happens. But they're in the best division. They're with the Broncos, the Raiders, and with the Chargers, Broncos, Raiders, and who's the 4th team, man? Who's in the 4th team? Chargers, Raiders, Broncos, and Chiefs. That's the best division in the NFL right now.
أكتر division قريبة من بعض. الفرق كلها كويسة.
The Titans, Mariota had amazing game and a really bad game at the same time. 3 turnovers لماريوتا, 2 interceptions.
دي أول مرة في السيزون بالنسبة لماريوتا.
2 interceptions and 1 fumble. And the fumble that he made was just silly. Not protecting himself, not protecting the ball. Derrick Henry ما كانش بيلعب الماتش ده. So their offense was off. He's injured.
فالworkload ما كانش.
Workload wasn't the same, and DeMarco Murray didn't run the ball enough. Can handle 50 yards best. But see, when you miss Derrick Henry, your offensive plan isn't there. And the Chargers were leading this game from the beginning till the end. And every time the Titans would try to come back, the Chargers would make a turnover and score a touchdown and go a bit further away.
Garbage time touchdowns اللي خلته.
The Titans, pretty much. That made it look very close. But the Titans are now 4-5. I still think the Titans are going to win their division. I don't have faith in the Texans and the Texans offense right now.
أوزواير ده فاصلني بالcontract بتاعه ده.
The Texans had a bye week this week. But we didn't see them play, but they're going to come back next week. But I'm still picking the Titans for that division. All right, let's move on to the Indianapolis Colts at the Green Bay Packers. The Colts كسبوا الماتش ده 31 ل 26.
Surprise. الباكرز ما عندهمش أي خلاص no excuses. انتوا بتعملوا ايه؟
بالظبط. For you to lose ضد الكولتس دي حاجة يعني you're not a good team. You're a one-man team. This is يعني فاكر ما كنا بنقول كده على الكولتس كنا بنقول Andrew Luck one-man team. The Packers are exactly the same thing. One-man team. The defense مش بيعمل أي حاجة. Like they were in the beginning of the season, but they're falling apart now.
هو كلي ماثيوز ايه اخباره؟ عامل ايه؟ يعني هو شبه الفامباير بس. مش عارف بيفكر بحسه المفروض يبقى في فيلم توايلايت او بليد او حاجة. او بعد ما يسيب NFL يروح WWE.
Clay Matthews wasn't even playing this game.
بجد؟
Yeah, he was injured for this game and he wasn't even playing this game. Correction on my fault. He wasn't even playing this game. So that's why it looked like when Clay Matthews doesn't play, the Packers defense struggles. But there's no rushing game. There's no running back for them. Their rushing game is all over the place. You know who's rushing the ball for them?
Ty Montgomery.
A wide receiver. And you know who's the other running back for them? Aaron Rodgers, their quarterback. There's no running back. alright? You need to have a running game. I know ماشي كان عندهم 116 ياردة في الrushing game. And ماشي okay it looks good بس ما فيش running back بيجري.
It looks okay. It doesn't look good.
You need running backs. You need that.
You'd expect that from one running back.
Yeah, you need a running back to just run the ball and waste time. You need that and to control the game, and they're not controlling the game right now. For Aaron Rodgers, he played a really good game. Aaron Rodgers is amazing. Okay, don't get me wrong. But the Packers had no excuse to lose that game, and they lost it. Silly. But they're 4-4.
طب Andrew Luck عمل ايه؟
Andrew Luck 281 yards throwing the ball. كان عنده 2 interceptions and 1 touchdown.
In an average game, yeah.
بس تعرف Frank Gore كسب الماتش ده للكولتس. He didn't have an amazing 60 yards بس كان عنده 2 touchdowns. الفرق بالماتش ده كان الكولتس they were scoring in the red zone because they had a running back, and the Packers weren't scoring in the red zone and they were kicking field goals because they didn't have a running back. ده كان الفرق في الماتش ده بين الفرقتين. والماتش بس فرق 7 points. You know مش حتى 7 5 points فرق 5 points الماتش ده.
مظبوط.
يعني very close very close. الماث بتاعي week in week out يعني بتفرق. And the Colts had a receiving a kick return touchdown, a 99 kick return touchdown that looked amazing. Jordan Todman had a 99 kick return touchdown. The Packers just need help. Both teams need help right now. The Colts are 4-5 زي Titans.
ايش هم
تفتكر الكولتس ممكن يكسبوا الديفيجن ده؟
ممكن. It's a close
very
one.
very close.
ما حدش احسن من حد في الديفيجن.
Yeah.
بس فكرة الكولتس محتاجين فريق.
Yeah, they need محتاجين يدرافت كويس السنة الجاية.
لازم وشوية تريدز كده.
They need to do good stuff man. The Denver Broncos at the Oakland Raiders. الريدرز كسبوا الماتش ده 30-20. فاهم كنا بنتكلم عن الماتش ده ممكن يبقى swing. I was talking about it. It's a swing game. يعني ايه swing game؟ يعني فريق زي البرونكوز كسب السوبر بول is an amazing team. بس now the Raiders are picking up steam and they're looking like a good team. لو الريدرز عرفوا يكسبوا الماتش ده يبقى المومنتم for the rest of the year هيبقى مع الريدرز. The Raiders are now 7-2. They're first in the division. والبرونكوز are now 6-3.
وايه اللي كسب الماتش ده الريدرز؟
running game. Latavius Murray 114 yards running the ball, 3 touchdowns.
Wow.
And he was injured last week, so he's back.
والبرونكوز الديفنس بتاعهم مع انه كويس جدا قدام الرننج جيم هو مش كويس خالص.
They 218 yards. They let in 218 rushing yards. As the Raiders showed how you can beat the Broncos.
Running game.
I
think they had the fifth worst
rushing defense.
Rushing defense.
Really?
Yeah, I think
That's crazy. Derek Carr didn't have a fantastic game, but the Raiders weren't throwing the ball. You know, they threw it when they needed to, but they were running. Balance. I need the Raiders need balance. The Raiders need to run the ball if they want to be winning football teams, and this is what they did right now. So I'm very happy by this game.
That's good coaching. مين الكوتش بتاعهم؟
Jack Del Rio.
طب تعالى نتكلم عليه شوية مين؟
ماشي. I'm gonna talk a little bit Jack Del Rio. Jack Del Rio كان الكوتش بتاع Jaguars. Jaguars. He was their second coach in their franchise. عشان كان franchise جديد. Losing season after losing season after losing season after losing season, but it's not as bad as now. They were a bit better شوية. They were still really bad, but it's here and there. Close 7-9, 8-8, 6-10.
أنا عندي سؤال. أول لما فريق يخش يبقى franchise team بتاعه يخش NFL بيجيب الفريق كله منين؟
Okay, you have priority of free agents. Okay. يعني ما free agency تبتدي you have priority.
Like you sign whoever you want. Like the rest can sign the leftovers.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then your first pick in the draft. You see what I mean?
Do you have more picks in the draft?
And you have more picks later on in the draft. But much later on. But it takes time. It takes you like بتاخد مثلا 10 سنين for you to develop a team.
غير لو نقيت بقى فري ايجنتس جامدين فشخ.
بس صعب عشان ما يبقاش فيه كتير كويسين جدا. You know what I mean? بتبقى صعبة أوي. بتبقى صعب. Khalil Mack had a great game. 2 sacks. 2 sacks. He's back, man. Once the Raiders defense rolled around him, he's back. Raiders defense looked good. Raiders offense looked good. The Raiders, man.
انت ليه بتقول عليه كاليو؟
Khalil
انت اسمك
Mack.
مصطفى كاليو؟
Khalil Mack.
خليل ماك.
أقول Khalil Mack من دلوقتي. أقول Khalil Mack 2 sacks. بس Raiders بجد they showed how you can beat the Broncos.
ايه ده انت عملت ماوس كبير كده.
I'm on the Mac, okay? And when you rotate the mouse in circles, it shows you where the mouse is, so you can find the mouse. MacBook بقى وكده.
طب انا عندي ماك بوك ما بعملش كده ليه؟
Did you try it?
مش متأكد.
MacBook, most user-friendly computer out there.
Pay us.
We're advertising for Mac now. Alright, let's move on to the last game of the week. The Buffalo Bills at the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks كسبوا 31-25. الماتش ده was a close game. This was a very, very close game. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. في الآخر Seahawks defense stopped Tyrod Taylor. And Tyrod Taylor showed his anger, slammed his helmet on the grass and خسروا الماتش ده because they really could have won this game. Is Seahawks rushing? 33 rushing yards.
ولا حاجة.
ولا أي حاجة. And the Bills.
والستار الرننج باك بتاعهم
Christian Michael. ياردة واحدة بس.
ياردة واحدة
ياردة
وتاتش
واحدة. جاب touch down. But yeah, كويسة for
Yeah.
fantasy owners. بس for the team, one
Quite
touchdown
prolific.
بس. Jimmy Graham, 2 touchdowns. With both touchdowns was a one-handed catch. I love Jimmy Graham.
I know.
I miss him so much. Come back to the Saints, Jimmy. Please, I miss you so much. I love you.
بطل حركات.
Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman.
ريشارد
حصل سيركس في الوقت ده. ممكن تقول لنا اللي حصل في الوقت ده عشان انت برضه كنت confused شويه.
انا مش فاهم.
اوكي ايه اللي حصل؟
اللي حصل
بالنسبه
بس هو ريتشارد شيرمان كان اوفسايد يعني
كان اوفسايد في ايه؟
يعني كان السي هوك اسمهم ايه بيلز كانوا عندهم كيك
يا
ف ريتشارد شيرمان سبق
وكان عنده اوفسايد
بس الريفري ما صفرش
ما عرفش يبلاي وريتشارد شيرمان played until the whistle
and then he touched the ball first.
He did touch the ball first
and injured the kicker.
The kicker kicked Richard Sherman and it hurt him for the kicker fell down.
I don't think that's what actually happened. Like Richard Sherman hit the kicker.
ماشي in Richard Sherman's way to the ball he's going to have to kick the kicker. He's going to have to hit the kicker.
Yeah, it's football. Yeah.
It's momentum.
Yeah, it's momentum.
It has to happen.
So the kicker got injured, and you continue because I can't explain something that I do not fully understand.
ماشي هقول لك اللي حصل تمام ف exactly like you said the offside لمس الكورة he made contact with the kicker. الريفريز عملوا غلطة where they didn't stop the play. كانوا المفروض يصفروا يوقفوا ريتشارد شيرمان قبل ما يخبط الكيكر. وانت as an NFL player you're taught to play until the whistle. معناه ايه play until the whistle؟ يعني don't stop playing.
العب على الصفارة زي
بالظبط.
الكورة.
العب لغاية تسمع الصفارة بالظبط. فريتشارد شيرمان ما عملش حاجة غلط. اللي عمل حاجة غلط في الماتش في الوقت ده كان الريفري. Running offsides دي حاجة بتحصل يعني it happens so much during a game. You can't say a player you did something off because you went offside. ما في كذا لعيب بيروح offside يعني. ف what happened after that it كان فاضل 3 seconds for the second quarter. كان فاضل 3 seconds. And the Bills had no timeouts. والكيكر كان متعور. فالترينر بتاع البيلز دخل الفيلد. And when a trainer goes on the field
في آخر
دقيقتين you have to call a timeout. ولو ما عندكش timeout بيتحسب timeout ضد فريقك. اوكي؟ فالبيلز اتحسب عليهم timeout اتحسب على ريتشارد شيرمان الاوفسايد لسه. And they had to re-kick. بس حصل كده fiasco where the kicker had to go out of the field عشان حصل timeout. عشان when that stops from players from faking injuries.
ما كانش عندهم كيكر تاني.
فكانوا they had to spike the ball and waste 2 seconds. فكان فاضل second left. بعد كده رجعوا كيكر تاني on the field and he kicked the kick. بس circus scene قوي. And bad officiating. Very bad refereeing. Do you know that the NFL, the referees to the NFL are not full-time referees?
Yeah, I know.
They're part-time referees. Doesn't that confuse you, شوية? You're $1 billion industry. Okay? You're $1 billion industry and you can't afford to hire full-time referees who spend most of their time making sure that their job is perfected, I think that's a bunch of crap, honestly.
بس يعني ما الكورة كده برضه.
Officials in the Premier League are not full time.
They're all like part-time referees, and like Google Howard Webb.
Okay.
This guy is like, he knows what he's doing with his life. Yeah.
Right.
He's like, he has a PhD and he's a policeman, and like it's crazy. And he's a referee.
I agree with you, but I think for a sport like the NFL, where there's so many more rules and so many more safety concerns, and so many more time needed for the refereeing of the sport, that you should have full time.
They pay them good money, and like a referee makes like about from $150,000 to $150,000 a year.
Mish.
So that's not bad.
It's not bad, but I still think you need to be full time. Yeah. So your job is better. So you do your job better.
They can be full time.
Dude, there's so many rules, man. There's so many rules. Like, and you've been watching the NFL now for 2 years. Can you say that you know everything about the rules of the game?
I think I know like 15%.
It took me like 5 years to know 90% of the rules of this game. That says something. For كرة قدم, it can take you like a year to know the rules.
حلوة كرة قدم.
ما انا بقول لك انا هقلب بين العربي والانجليزي في الابيسود.
في الكورة يعني مش لازم كرة قدم.
كرة القدم. لا عشان American football كورة والsoccer is كرة القدم. You know, so I want to make it different. And if you have to say American football is something, we're moving on now from the week. That's the end of week 9. We're done. We're done talking. Good job for the Seahawks. They're 5-2. They're gonna win their division. The Bills are now 4-5. Yeah, blah blah. We're done with the week. Okay. Now, if you had to translate American football بالعربي, what would you call it?
كرة القدم الأمريكاني.
كرة القدم الأمريكاني. طويلة قوي. اسم طويل جدا. You know the other English name for American football is gridiron. The reason why is in the way the field is painted, like a grid, you know, and iron because of the pads and the hitting وكده. How would you translate gridiron بالعربي?
ما أعرفش.
We should Google translate gridiron in Arabic. I will do that now while we are talking. But how would you translate طيب touchdown in Arabic?
كلها أسئلة كويسة جدا. احنا لازم نسمع تعليق الجزيرة البي ان سبورتس على السوبر بول السنة اللي فاتت ونشوف الراجل كان بيقول ايه.
Okay, gridiron in Arabic.
الشبكة الحديدية.
الشبكة الحديدية. I think that's what we should call American football in Arabic. الشبكة الحديدية. رياضة الشبكة الحديدية.
That's confusing.
طب let's see touchdown.
We can call our show الشبكة الحديدية. هبوط.
وجاب حبوط or جاب ايه حبطة? What would you say?
لا I mean يعني that's awful translation.
تهبط الطائرة.
touchdown.
تهبط الطائرة.
لا الطائرة هبطت.
الطائرة هبطت. Would you say that for touchdown? طب fumble. Let's see what fumble is in Arabic. فقد السيطرة. اللعيب فقد السيطرة ووقع الكورة. حلوة دي صح؟ دي أحسن حاجة موجودة. الكورة فقد السيطرة. تمام. Let's keep that. فقد السيطرة. كل شوية ما لعيب يفنبل الكورة هنقول اللعيب فقد السيطرة. مارك إنجرام فقد السيطرة مرتين في أسبوعين. حلوة. عجباني.
He lost it.
Alright, well, that made up week 9 for us. We have to go in now to the week 10 schedule. And start making some picks right now. I'm very excited about this week. There are a lot of massive games. Massive games this week. Let's start off with the Thursday night game. A Cleveland Browns at the Baltimore Ravens. Who you got for this game?
The Ravens.
Why would you pick the Browns at this point? You know, look, this is the division game. The Browns could do something in a division game. You should always. Division game is going to be a close game, but this is in Baltimore. الماتش ده هيتلعب عند the Ravens. It's going to be very, very hard for the Browns to win this game. I want them to win.
You want to predict the score?
Let's move on to the next game. We're both picking the Ravens.
Yeah.
Clearly. But we want the Browns to win. We're rooting for the Browns.
I want the Browns to win.
Every week we want the Browns to win.
This is week 10, huh?
Yeah.
هلا أبيض ماشي.
The Houston Texans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Texans كان عندهم bye week الأسبوع اللي فات. They are now back. You know, the 49ers, Makhistru did the Saints. They were the only team this week to lose after their bye week.
Yeah?
Every other team have won their game after their bye week except the 49ers. Houston Texans at the Jacksonville Jaguars.
49ers.
عشان زمان في San Francisco in the year 1849 كانت gold rush year. لقوا gold في San Francisco and everyone in America moved to San Francisco to dig for gold. مش كده اسمهم the 49ers, the diggers, 49ers.
كل حد في أمريكا؟
Not مش كل حد بس a lot of the gold industry in America boosted because of the year 49.
1849.
1849. Okay. Who do you got for this game? Houston Texans at the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That's a close one.
Very close one. I'm picking the Texans because they're coming off their bye week automatically.
I'm picking the Jaguars because they need a win.
They need a win.
They need to win the Jaguars.
It's the Jaguars.
The Jaguars.
Chris Ivory can run the ball. If Chris Ivory runs the ball well against the Texans defense, then I think they might win this game. And if Bortles doesn't throw interceptions. Kansas City Chiefs at the Carolina Panthers. Big game.
Big game.
The first big game of the week. There are many, but this is the first big game of the week. Solid Chiefs defense against a solid Panthers defense. Which offense is going to succeed in this game?
Chiefs.
The Chiefs offense?
Is Smith back?
Yeah, Smith is back this week.
I think the Chiefs.
I'm picking the Panthers because they're playing at home.
Yeah?
Yeah. And the Chiefs have to lose some games this week. They're not going to keep winning every week.
Why not?
Because that doesn't happen. They're not going to end the season with only 2 losses. This is going to be one of their harder games, and this has to be the game they lose. You know what I mean? So I picked the Panthers.
The Panthers are not that impressive.
Yeah, I know.
The Panthers are not.
But they're 2 weeks now winning games.
See that look?
Yeah, no one else sees that look but me.
Yeah.
You're just you're looking at me like your eyes are closed.
Yeah.
You're very serious. Very serious about the Chiefs pick, Abdo is. The LA Rams at the New York Jets. Definitely not a big game. Man, I'm picking the Jets mostly because of that Rams offense. But this is going to be 2 defenses who play really well against each other. Jets because they're playing at home. That's the only reason I'm picking this game.
Yeah?
Yeah, because the Rams have to travel all the way from Los Angeles to New York. I'm picking the Jets.
ايش تركبوا طيارة يعني؟
But it's a long distance. 8-hour flight.
It's an 8-hour flight?
Yeah.
بجد؟
Right? 8-hour flight, 6-hour flight.
أكيد 6-hour flight,
6-hour
private
flight.
jet. أكيد بيسافروا عندهم.
Yeah.
Like, the NFL teams.
Yeah, they have their own flights.
Jets.
Yeah.
So yeah, قشطة يعني.
بس برضه I'm picking the Jets.
Do they have like a Wolf of Wall Street like kind of flights?
No.
No?
Who'd you got for this game?
I'll go with the Jets as well.
Okay. The next big game is the Atlanta Falcons at the Philadelphia Eagles.
Like that's a
Big game. Bird battle. Battle of the birds.
Yeah, birds of prey.
Who'd you got for the Falcons and the Eagles?
Falcons. The Falcons.
Man, this is a hard game to pick.
No, I picked the Falcons and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because I like them.
Okay.
And I like the Eagles as well, but the Falcons seem like a more mature team to me.
When the Falcons played against the hard defense of the Seahawks, they lost. But when they play against the hard defense of the Broncos, they won. But I think the
There's
Eagles...
a lot of factors.
Yeah, but I'm picking the Eagles because I think the Eagles defense is going to stop them.
And I think the Falcons defense is pretty good as well.
I don't think so.
No.
The Falcons defense let so many points in, a lot of garbage time touchdowns. I know, but
with the rookie quarterback, they're gonna bully him. They're gonna bully him. So we're gonna see.
The Eagles. I'm picking the Eagles defense for this game.
What?
I'm picking the Eagles defense for this game. I'm sorry.
Okay.
The Green Bay Packers at the Tennessee Titans.
I picked the Titans.
You picked the Titans against the Packers?
Yeah, man.
Me too. Me too. I think Derrick Henry is going to be coming back this game. So the Titans offense should be back. Mariota will not turn over the ball because he'll learn his mistake. The Green Bay Packers playing away from home. Pick the Titans.
I told you.
You told me. Minnesota Vikings at the Washington team. The Washington team had a bye week last week. But they're the Washington team.
What do you mean they're the Washington team?
I don't like them.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, but I don't like them.
You can't. Okay, that concerns you. That's very personal.
Yeah, it's personal. I don't.
But they're a very good team.
Yes. So you think they're gonna beat the Vikings defense?
Yes. I believe in Cousins. I really like him.
You know, I would love for them to actually.
To beat the Vikings.
Yeah, because the Vikings starting 5-0, and now they've lost 3 in a row. If they lose another one, and they lose 4 in a row, and then lose another one, and then they lose 5 in a row, that's exactly what they have to be right now, with Sam Bradford as their quarterback. Which would mean that we were right in the beginning. So I'm going to pick us in this game.
You're going to pick us?
I'm going to pick us in this game, and I'm going to pick the Washington team to beat the Vikings.
Yeah.
The Chicago Bears at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I don't
care.
I don't care.
The Bears had a bye week last week.
Do you know? I hate the Bears.
You hate the Bears?
Yeah.
They're so boring, man. With Jay Cutler.
So boring.
I just don't like Jay Cutler.
They're the most boring team in the NFL, I think.
It's just Jay Cutler.
Like, nothing about them is interesting.
Just Jay Cutler is not interesting.
Only Howard. They're like
they're running
the
back.
rookie running back.
I'm going to pick Chicago because they're coming off their bye week.
Yeah, big Tampa Bay.
You're gonna pick Tampa
They're
Bay.
more interesting.
They are more interesting for sure. The Denver Broncos at the New Orleans Saints. Another big game. I know I'm not being biased when I'm saying big game because the Saints are playing, but this is a big game.
This is a big game.
This is a really big game. Drew Brees that offense going against the Denver defense. How did the Raiders beat the Broncos last week?
By running it.
Running the ball. What have the Saints been doing the past 2 weeks?
Running the ball.
Running the ball. If the Saints are able to run with Ingram and Hightower, and I think they're going to be able to run with Ingram and Hightower, and stop Trevor Siemian from having a big game, then the Saints are winning this game easily.
They should stop, Seaman.
And they're playing in New Orleans. Did you call Siemian Seaman?
Yeah.
That's a good nickname. We should call him Seaman from now on.
Oh, yeah, let's call him Seaman.
I'm picking the Saints for this game. Who did you got for this game? The Saints?
Shake my hand.
You're picking the Saints against the Super Bowl champions?
I'm picking the Saints.
Oh my god, that's amazing. That means the Saints are actually a good team now.
I don't believe in the Broncos offense.
Yeah,
I think they're a terrible offense. And they're bringing the team down.
Yeah, for sure. And the Saints defense play well at home.
Mm-hmm.
The Saints defense play well at home.
Yeah.
It's a big game.
Vaccaro's banned, so you have
Vaccaro.
a safety problem.
Kenny Vaccaro is one of my favorite players as well. As the safety for the Saints. He's been having a great season. He got tested positive for Adderall, and he might not play for the next 4 weeks. But they're appealing the suspension, so they're still seeing whether or not he'll play this week. Because maybe he did have a prescription, maybe he didn't. So we don't know yet.
And okay, I understand that Adderall is a prescription drug, but it's Adderall, yani. It's helps you focus. I don't know why is he taking it.
It's illegal if you don't have a prescription.
It's illegal if you don't have a prescription.
Oh.
But still, it's not something that's gonna affect your game.
But how can an NFL player have a drug that is illegal without a prescription? And why do you have it? That is my question. You should not be in that position. You should not be putting yourself in that position. If you need it, you should be getting it should be very easy for you to get prescriptions for it.
You can pay someone.
You're an NFL player. You tell me your team can't get you a prescription for a drug? That's ridiculous. صح ولا ايه؟
No, I understand. But what if a friend gave it to him? Okay, man, I need to study this playbook.
Then he needs to surround himself with better people, man.
But it's not a bad drug. That's the thing. It's something that the people with ADHD take. So it's okay.
I hope they appeal it and he doesn't get suspended. The Miami Dolphins at the San Diego Chargers. Both teams are very hot right now. Sneaky good game for J.J. and Melvin Gordon, both running backs playing against each other.
I'll pick the Chargers.
Me too.
I'll pick the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm picking the Chargers as well for this game. The San Francisco 49ers at the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals had a bye week. They needed it. They really needed that bye week, and they're coming now against a very weak team of the San Francisco 49ers. I'm picking the Cardinals.
Me too.
This could be the game for them to move forward and start playing well.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. We've been saying that a lot, though. We've been saying that a lot. Big game, Dallas Cowboys at the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a really big rivalry in the NFL. They don't play against each other a lot. In their history, they faced each other 3 times in the Super Bowl. So it's a very long history. Now, this is a chance for the Cowboys to go to Pittsburgh and play against a potentially really good team and beat them. To continue to show their dominance. I'm picking the Pittsburgh Steelers for this game because I think Ben Roethlisberger will be healthier than he was last week. I think Le'Veon Bell had a wake-up call, and I think the offense of the Pittsburgh Steelers is going to have a good game. It's going to be an amazing game.
I'll pick the Giants. The Cowboys, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're picking the Cowboys?
I'm picking the Cowboys. I think they're going to continue their winning streak. They're unplayable at the moment.
Yeah. The Seattle Seahawks at the New England Patriots. Massive Super Bowl rematch. They're playing in New England. Now, the Super Bowl, the record is that when the Super Bowl teams play against each other again, the Super Bowl champs usually win again. So that is the history. And they're playing in New England. So I'm picking the Patriots mostly because of that. But this is going to be an amazing Sunday night game.
It's pretty good.
Who you got?
Good stuff.
Who are you going to pick?
The Patriots.
The Patriots as well?
Yeah, whenever in doubt, pick the Patriots. Yeah.
Monday night game, sneaky good game. Cincinnati Bengals at the New York Giants. AJ Green against Odell Beckham Jr.
I'll choose AJ Green.
Yeah?
Hands down, yeah.
So you're picking the Bengals to beat the Giants this game?
Yeah.
I'm picking the Giants because they're playing at home.
I'm picking the Bengals because they're picking up.
It can go both ways, I think, this game.
It really can.
I think it's going to be a very close game.
The Bengals, they need a better QB.
You don't like Andy Dalton? I love Andy Dalton. I think he's a great quarterback. If you look at his stats, he went to the playoffs his first 4 years as an NFL quarterback. You know who else did that?
Who?
Peyton Manning. That's pretty amazing, dude. Like, statistically and historically, he's in a very good place.
But he's not a winner.
He will. Give him time. He will. He will. He needs time. He's not like every season. He's not Tom Brady, dude. He's Andy Dalton. Like, he's not amazing, but he's a good quarterback. Matthew Stafford hasn't won in playoffs, and you still like him.
Because Stratford is amazing. That's the difference. Stratford is a leader.
Yeah.
Like, I would want to be his follower.
You don't think Andy Dalton's a leader?
No.
Okay.
And I know, like, I'm a good judge of character.
Well, people used to say Stafford wasn't a leader in the beginning of his season, in the beginning of his career. Look where he is now.
I'm speaking about now.
Yeah, so maybe in 2 years' time, Dalton will be a leader.
هنشوف ممكن يسترجل شوي.
Yeah. The 4 teams on byes are the Buffalo Bills, Detroit Lions, Indianapolis Colts, and the Oakland Raiders. What a time for the Raiders to be on a bye week after beating the Broncos.
Yeah, like, it's amazing.
Yeah, pretty good stuff. Well, that makes up week 10. I'm so excited for this week, man. I'm going to try to watch as many games as possible.
Me too. I wish I can.
Yeah.
Hopefully
You're very busy, man.
I'm too busy. Too busy, man.
Money, 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 money!
And I'm not making most of it.
The money situation now in the country and in the world
is insane.
It's putting you in very, very weird work hours.
Yeah, man. It's I'm overworked.
Yeah.
Definitely overworked.
Definitely overworked. But it's fine. We still got time to do a podcast.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know who's going to be struggling like you for a while now? We haven't talked about it yet.
No.
We haven't talked about the big news that's happened in the world this week. Since we're talking about the NFL, which is in America, do you feel like we have to talk about it? Or everyone else talking about it, so we don't talk about it?
No need. It's, like, people talk, it's too much.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about it, but I'm going to only say one thing. There was a time where he might have owned the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Imagine if he was the owner of the Buffalo Bills.
And the person.
And at the same time. Well, that makes up our episode. Shukran Gaziran. Can I say that? Shukran Gaziran.
It's completely fine.
For listening to our podcast. Money, 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 money.
يا رب نعمل شوية منها.
Thank you. This has been the
ENFLP,
the Egyptian NFL podcast. أنا اسمي Muzzy.
وأنا اسمي
Who that? The Saints are winning games. They're gonna play the Broncos. Everyone watch. They might beat them. I'm sorry. I have to end the episode like that.
I'll end it.
How are you gonna end it? Do you know how to end the episode? You don't even know how to end the episode. He doesn't know what button to...
Yeah.
One more, I got 69 touchdowns. You know what I mean. Only you know what I mean, baby.
I'm sorry to explode like that, but it's like no one's ever worked on TV here before.
That was the most exciting thing to happen tonight.